everything around the farm anyway because he usually at work and mechanic. But Mom went with us one time to go down this field to mend some fences. We got down there and we realized we didn't have enough equipment with us there. And so we needed some more. I don't remember what it was. Probably some steeples and stuff that we didn't take with us the first time. So me and Ted decided we'd go back to the house and get it. We get back up the house. We decided, well, we get a jug of water. Take Mom. She'll probably be thirsty by the time we get back down there. Well, the jug of water was a glass jug. We didn't have plastic jugs back them days. And we was riding down through there and we was riding on a horse there. I didn't say that, but it was all on horses. And but I was on with my brother, and I was on behind him, and I was holding the jug and whatever else it was there. And the horse, I don't know, maybe made a move or whatever, but I lost my balance, and I started sliding off. And you know how it is when you start to fall, you grab hold of anything first. I grabbed hold of my brother and took him with me. And I dropped that jug, and it hit the ground and broke into pieces. And my brother's face fell right into that glass and cut his, I don't know how many different places on his face. It was bleeding pretty good there. And I went and got Mom, get over there, and she told me to run up to the neighbors and get them so they could take him to the hospital. We didn't have no telephones back in them days, and we probably could have had, but we didn't have. But anyway, I wasn't a very big guy, but I couldn't get up on them horses by myself. But that day, I just jumped right up on that top of that horse and took off racing up the road to get them people. And I got them, and now I'm racing back down there, and while I was gone, somebody out on the highway stopped. They flagged them down, stopped, and he took Ted to the hospital there. And they fixed him up, sewed him up. He still got scars you can see on his face there from that. But like I say, rough and tough. Get up and go. Don't let anything keep you down. It seems like that's the way it went. Talking about that, I guess might as well tell about the time that Marlene and Ted was gonna. I guess it was gonna whip me for some reason or other. I don't know what the deal was, what they was thinking, or what they was gonna do. But they was trying to get hold of me, and I took off running. Wouldn't let them get hold of me, and run down the driveway. And we had along the driveway there's a kind of like a fence, a brush row there where, sometimes we'd thin it out, and I thought I would just go through there and jump through there. That'd be hard for them to get through there. They probably wouldn't. I was kind of desperate to get through there, And when I jumped through there, I jumped right on a stub that's probably 3/8 of an inch thick, and it was been cut off at a sharp point. I jumped right on it and went right through my foot. I had tennis shoes on, so it went through my tennis shoe and up right beside my toe, my second toe there. But it was sticking all the way through my foot there. Of course, we had to flag down somebody down there on the road and get them to take me to the doctor. Have them pull it out of there and patch me up. There's no telling how many different incidences there was like that. Well, I should tell about Jack on the horse there, on one of the bigger horses. It wasn't that little one; it was on one of the bigger horses. We had to, we didn't have enough horses to go around, so we kind of took turns. Well, he had been riding that horse, so it was my turn. So I figured, and I told him, "Okay, get off. It's my turn." He wasn't going to get off, and he said, "No, he wasn't going to get off." And I said, "Come on now," and I got up. I don't remember how I got up behind him, but I got up behind him, and he started heading toward the barn. Got the horse headed toward the barn, and I was trying to reach up further than him to the reins there and turn the horse back to the house. but he could reach up further than I could, so the horse went up through there. And I could see he was getting up close to the corn crib. The corn crib was stacked up on concrete blocks and then had a piece of tin there, and then the corn crib was built on top of that, so so the rats or animals couldn't get up in the corn crib there. It's kind of deterred them. But anyway, that piece of tin stuck out there far enough, and I could see that he was getting too close to that, and it hit his leg. And I was trying to tell him to get, let the horse go around that, but he thought I was trying to turn the horse around, and he kept that horse right over, and he cut his leg all the way to the bone, all the way to the bone. And we had to stop somebody on the road to take him to the doctor. But he lived through that. So, you got to be tough. You got to be tough if you live out on the farm there. I imagine there's a lot of other things there that I could tell that if I just think about them, maybe if I do, I'll interject them in later and we can fit them in wherever they go, time-wise there. But anyway, that's some of the things that went on there at the farm there. I probably ought to talk a little bit about going to school there. That country school is a one-room school, and all the grades, all 8 grades, were in the same room there. I can't remember how many people was in there, but our teacher's name was Arnold Ham, and he had just came there when my first year there was his first year there too. But he was he's a young guy, and he's kind of a kid at heart anyway, and we'd get out there horsing around playing and doing stuff just like we were on the farm, just horsing around. We'd climb up in trees and and we'd jump from tree to tree like, we'd be like tires, and we thought, I guess, or monkeys or something, But nobody, I don't recall anybody ever getting hurt out of doing that. But he had a tooth there where he had a gold inlay in it or cap on it or whatever, and he was always goofing around with us, and we had a pit there that is called a high jump pit there. It had poles up, and you put the pole across there and jump over it, and then you raise it up, see who can jump the highest. And we got the idea of putting 2 poles up there and jump through them. They put one up a little higher than the other one, and then kind of jump through them. Well, him being bigger and everything, when he went to jump through there, his head hit that top pole and knocked that tooth out. It went right in the sawdust down in the pit there. And we looked and looked and looked for that tooth. I don't think we ever did find it. I don't remember ever finding it. But I always remember that. I don't know why, but anyway, at the end of when we graduated there, me and Donna graduated at the same time out of 8th grade there. He gave everybody, when they graduated, he gave everybody a white Bible and had your name on it. I don't have that Bible anymore, but I can remember him doing that. Yeah, we played softball there, and we had a softball team. We didn't have really that many good players or anything, but we'd play on Friday. On Fridays, we'd usually go to another school, or another school come to where we were, and we'd play, a game against them to see, just see how good we were, I guess, And then, of course, at the end of the year, toward the end of the year, they'd have what they call play day, and there'd be like a lot of schools go to one central location, which was they'd pick a good school that had good playground and everything, and they play against one another in tournaments there until somebody came out the winner. But we didn't win no softball there. But I did win high jumping. One year I won. They give ribbons, blue, red, and white. and the blue one was top, you know, for first place, and I got first place in high jump. But yeah, anyway, there's a lot of good stories out there at school too. Yep, yep. Talking about down there where that swing was, we're talking about where Ted broke that grapevine there and fell. That there was some poison ivy down there. Well, I weren't allergic to poison ivy. I could pick it up and handle it, and it wouldn't bother me a bit. But you know how kids are; they get smart alecky, and I took that poison ivy and rubbed it on some other boys. They're supposed to be my friends. I don't know what in the world. Don't remember why I did it or anything, but I did it. And man, I tell you, they went home that night and it broke out. And man, of course, I got in a bunch of trouble over that. Nobody liked that idea at all. Yeah, of course, for lunch there, you had to bring your own lunch, or like we lived so close there to the house that we'd run home to eat. But there wasn't nothing around it, you know, being out in the country like that. But this one guy, teacher, let him bring a box of. It's like a, I don't know, almost like a trunk, but it wasn't that big. But he'd have candy bars and potato chips and stuff like that, Cracker Jacks and stuff. And if you had money, you could buy it from him, you know, at recess or when you got back from home, or you know, after lunch. Or that we had recess in the morning and recess in the evening. There, sometimes being that teacher being as playful as it was, sometimes recess or lunch would last a lot longer than it's supposed to. It's supposed to only been 15 minutes for recess, and half hour. Well, I guess it's an hour for lunch, maybe. But anyway, sometimes it lasted a lot longer than that. But it was a lot of fun going to school there. Yeah, yeah. I ought to get out of that and maybe tell you some other stories there. From there, from graduating out of 8th grade there, went to Poplar Bluff Junior High, which was uptown then, and we rode the bus. Well, I should back up and not tell you that part yet until I tell you about a little bit more about the school there. That's where I met my first girlfriend. Her name was Nadine Woods, and she'd come over. Well, she was a friend of my sister too. And they'd come over there, and sometimes we'd play up there in the loft there, and I guess you'd say we kind of played. What would you have called it? Family or something, you know. And I was a husband, and she was his wife, and my sister was I don't know, one of the kids. Something I don't remember, you know, how the situation worked, but you know, But anyway, that's where it was my first girlfriend, I guess you'd say. Yeah, it was. That's the first girl I can ever remember being interested in. And then a couple of years after that, I guess, there's some other girls that started going to school there, and one was named Frances, and she was sweet on Ted. And but Nadine had already, without a picture, I don't know what the deal was, if she moved or just what the thing was. But anyways, she was out of the picture. So, but this girl was interested in Ted. Well, I was interested in this girl, and so I would write her a note, telling, you know, like I was Ted, telling her that he wasn't interested in her, that his brother was. Well, she wasn't interested in me, so she would, you know, not look toward Ted no more, I guess you'd say, and so, but she wouldn't